it's Jeanette at the Not So Perfect Mom, and today I have a book haul for you. This will be my May book haul. These are the books that I recently picked up from the used bookstore local to me. I took box books in, and of course I came home with a box of books. I've noticed that when I go in, I tend to pick a genre and then I buy from that genre. So like the last time I went, I bought almost all romance books, and this time I kind of tended towards mysteries and thrillers. So let's go. The first book that I picked up was the first Inspector Wexford novel. I've heard a lot about this one. I don't remember too much about what it actually is about, but it keeps getting recommended, so I picked it up. And this is From Doomed to Death. And the back has a little blurb that says, dazzling psychological suspense. I'm in. The next book in the series, in my book haul is, actually, let's start with this one. My husband picked these out, and this is American Assassin by Vince Flynn. And I think it's pretty much what it says it's about. Planned assassination from the president and the CIA operative who's going to stop it. It is the first book in the Mitch Rapp series. And then the next book, which was the one I had, was The Last Man. And this is from the same series. This is actually book number 13 in the series. So I guess if I like it, I'm going to have to pick up between 1 and 13 here. And then the next one, my husband picked out for me too. And I have Lincoln Child on my bookshelf, but I have never actually read any. So if you've read anything by Lincoln Child, do you like his books? I'm just kind of curious. This is The Forgotten Room, and actually I thought this one sounded pretty good. They, the main characters are doctors who are doing some work in this house. They say they are actually enigmologists, and it says they specialize in solving problems of the strange or seemingly supernatural variety. And anyway, they find a forgotten room that has been locked up, and is basically a time capsule of when there was a Project X or Project S, I believe, happening in that room, and why did the people abandon it. And it just sounded really good. Then the next book caught my eye because I am an Egypt junkie. I love all things Egypt, and this is Tutankhamun by Nick Drake. And this is not a nonfiction book about Tutankhamun, ironically. It's actually a mystery thriller. There is a detective, Rohutep, maybe, and he is trying to figure out why they're and how the people are trying to kill the new King Tut. And this is actually the second book in the series. The first one is Nefertiti, I believe, and it's got great reviews. This one has a little less, but still pretty good reviews, and I'm excited. Plus that cover is so cool, isn't it? And then I picked up Chasing the Night by Iris Johansson, and this is the first book in the Catherine Ling series. And if you're wondering why I'm looking in the book, I write on the inside cover in tiny little handwriting the series that it's with and the book number. That way, if I want to read something and I need to know which one the next one is, I don't have to get my phone or the computer out to pick up the next book in the series. So anyway, this is Chasing the Night, and this is about a CIA agent whose child is stolen, and she is trying to get her back. Then this is the second book in the series, and it's What Doesn't Kill You. And I think this one is the same CIA agent, and it's her next mystery. These are like kind of like the cop shows that you watch on TV, and how there's always something else happening in the next one. So then I picked up some Lisa Jackson. This is Ready to Die, and this is To Die book number 5. And I don't remember. I'm looking at the back, but I don't remember this one, what it was. I know it is about a sheriff, and I'm pretty sure an FBI agent or some kind of detective, because that seems to be the theme for today. Sorry, I don't have any more on that one. And then I got Almost Dead by Lisa Jackson. And now this one actually sounded a lot more interesting. The little tagline thing on the back says, "A woman who wants to get even will do whatever it takes for revenge, including murder." Sounded good to me. Then I picked up Final Target, and this is a completely different series. This is Wind Dancer, number 4, and this one is about the president's daughter, I believe. So that one sounded pretty good, even though I haven't read it yet. And this is Cold Snap by Allison Brennan. It's one of her Lucy Kincaid series, and I've read one of her other ones earlier this year. And this is number 7. My dog is playing upstairs. And this is about an FBI agent named Lucy Kincaid and what she's up to. I think this one has to do with a blizzard, and she's trying to get home, but there's a murder. It's really same line. And then this one really struck my fancy, and this is called The Killing Hour by Lisa Gardner. And this one is about a serial killer who kills 2 girls or 2 people at the same time, and he leaves the first one out to where somebody can find it, and it leaves clues to the second body. So the cops or the FBI, or yeah, it's FBI, are trying to get to the second body before that person dies. Morbid, but interesting. Then I picked up a couple romances, of course, because that's my thing. And this is 3 Weeks with Lady X by Eloisa James. And this is the first book in her Desperate Duchesses by the Numbers. And this one is about a son of a duke who needs to be brought up to snuff so he can enter society. And he meets a lady who says she can do it. And it goes from there. And then this one is Smuggler's Lady by Jane Feather. And what caught my fancy about this one is that this girl is, her husband has died or gone and left her all of his debt. So she is basically running a smuggling ring to pay off his debts. Doesn't that sound fascinating? I thought so. And then I picked up When We Meet Again by Victoria Alexander. This one had a little bit of an interesting thing, because it actually involves a prince who meets a girl at a masquerade ball, and they think they will never see each other again, and then the fates laugh at them. So that sounded pretty good. And then, blurry, okay, then I picked up some Iris Johansen's Eve Duncan series. I have book 1 and book 5 I know for sure on my shelves already. And so I'm picking up all the ones in between. And this one is Close Your Eyes. And it is, actually, this is the one that's an Eve Duncan. Sorry about that. This is Blood Game. And it is actually book 9 in the Eve Duncan series. And Eve Duncan is a FBI, I forget what it's called, but she sculpts people's faces. So like if she can see the bones, then she can sculpt their face to see what they would look like, and I forget what it's called. And her daughter is kidnapped in one of the first books, either kidnapped or killed, I can't remember. And she's, throughout the whole series, she's trying to find the person that did this. So that's an underlying theme in it, while she's also solving mysteries, because she's an FBI agent. And this one is about a senator's daughter who dies, I believe. And then the next book in that Eve Duncan series, and this is book 10, is called 8 Days to Live. And this actually involves Eve's other daughter, I guess, Jane, who has painted a picture that she, from her dreams, and now a religious cult is after her, I believe. At least that's what I got from the back. And that sounded pretty interesting. Then the next Eve Duncan one, which is number 12, is Just Eve. And this one is another book about a missing child that she's solving. And then the last Eve Duncan one is number 17, and this is Hunting Eve. And this one is really interesting because Eve Duncan gets kidnapped, and it is about her getting out and away and figuring things out. And then this one was Close Your Eyes, and it's the first in the Kendra Michaels series by Iris Johansson. And this one is about another FBI agent, but this one is really neat because she's blind, so she has all of her other senses are so sharpened, and they're using those to solve crimes. So that was a nice twist. Two more. I have Crocodiles on the Sandbank, and this is by Elizabeth Peters, and this is the first in the Amelia Peabody series. I think there's quite a few books in this, and again, it's set in Egypt, which I absolutely love. And this is just her story of her adventures mine goes blank. It's her adventures and her companionship. She finds a girl in Victorian England, London, wherever she's at, who has basically been ruined, and she brings her along with her, and they go to Egypt, and chaos ensues. The bottom little tagline is really interesting. It says, if Indiana Jones were female, a wife and a mother who lived in Victorian times, he would be Amelia Peabody Emerson. Doesn't that sound good? And then the last one is White Elephant. You hear my dogs playing? And this is the 11th book in the Death on Demand series by Carolyn Hart. And I read the first book in this series just a couple months ago, actually, and I really enjoyed it. And it's about a mystery bookshop owner. So that alone sounds good. Actually, it's White Elephant Dead. Did I say White Elephant? Anyway, there it is, because obviously I can't read today. So that is all of the books that I recently purchased for May, and I am fixing to go on holidays, so maybe my next video will be from where I'm going to be staying, so I'll let you guys see. Also, if anybody is doing the summer romance bingo challenge and has a playlist, or not a playlist, a TBR list, I would love to see it. I have a blog post up on my blog, which I'll link down below, and I posted my bingo card that I chose for the challenge, and I'm going to be picking some books tomorrow to take with me on my trip or on my Kindle, however I want to do it. And I would love to see your guys' suggestions for it. And I'll link all the information down below if you don't know what I'm talking about, the summer romance bingo. It's going to be fun. So I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.